It's every teacher librarian's hope that when books get checked out, they also get returned or checked back in. So when students are returning their books, they are to put them in the slot here for the book return bin. As a student library monitor, what you'll have to do on a regular basis is check this to make sure that all books that have been returned have been checked in before the end of the day. We don't like to leave things piled up. So as you can see, the book return, it looks as though there's a key here, but there isn't. There's no magic to this. You just put your hand in and press the door from the inside out, pull out the trolley, and then take the books from the batch in here and empty everything out and bring it back to the circ desk. But before you do that, make sure that you close this up so it's not a tripping hazard for everyone. Okay, so we're going back to the circulation desk. Now, there are a lot of little things that come with checking in books. When you have your books from your book return bin, make sure that you actually pile them neatly so they're not going to collapse on you. The computer is always left on checkout, so you have to toggle a switch, or you have to switch from checkout to check-in. And again, if you've listened to the previous videos, you'll know that it's the F8 key that you press to get to a check-in screen. Now the checkout screen is always empty. This here happens to have already a list of books. Not a problem. These are things that I checked in just after lunch. But the check-in mode is there, and there is a cursor there, so we're ready to check in books. The check-in instructions are all on the left-hand side here on this yellow piece of paper. We've already emptied the book bin. Now what we do is we have to check each item for damages. So I'm looking through these little date due slips. There's a recycle bin right under the counter. Recycle as much as possible. Scan through the book to make sure there's nothing loose. If everything's good and it looks like this is perfect, it's okay to scan it. Again, the barcode gets scanned. And because I have a lot of things to check in, I'm just going to pile them up on the side here. So I know I've done at least the check-in on the computer. We have another book. This one here, I have another date due slip. These little bookmarks, if the bookmark is still in good condition, we can reuse it. So you can put it on the pile for reuse. And you'll notice that this has one of the damage slips in it. This damage slip indicates that the book was damaged before the student checked it out, or before the person checked it out. So you don't have to worry about us tracking down anyone. It is okay to check in books with the damage slips. The same thing goes if there's a yellow sticker that says an ouch label. If the book has an ouch label, just go ahead and check it in. So this here has damaged, but I am going to check it in. Do not remove this, just leave it in the book. We're going to right away put it into the damaged box, which is the red box at the bottom of the, underneath the counter. So you have the sensitizer machine, reserve shelf, and then the damages. Just stack it in here, and then Ms. Bombino will check them out, or I will check them out later. Can repair them, or maybe buy a new copy. Now another book, same thing, brand new book, barcode, scan it. What did I forget to do though? I forgot to check. I knew it was a brand new book because I just checked it out, but you're holding on to it solid, make sure there's no problem with it, and then pile it on the end. Same thing with this one. We have these little slips. Now that's a little ratty and crumpled. I'll just recycle that one, scan the book in, and make a pile. So once you've done all the checking in on the computer, which I haven't done quite yet, but that, just remember, just make a little pile and we'll get to them. Now the magazine came in an envelope. You have these slips again, recycle. The envelope has the barcode, and for magazines it's really important. You're going to scan the envelope, and you'll notice that there is a pop-up box. The pop-up box says that the Entertainment magazine, August 22nd, 2014 is in this envelope. So that's where you double check. These are now separated because they don't have to go back on the shelf like that. And I'm going to double check that it's the August 22nd, and it is. And if the magazine matches what's in the box, it's important that you do this. Go up to the here where it says clear note, and by hitting the clear note, we have checked in the item, but no longer is this envelope attached to the Entertainment. The next time it goes out, it might be a Mad magazine or a Sports Illustrated or a Time, but we want to make sure we've cleared that note. This empty envelope joins the rest of them on the shelf next to the sensitizing machine, and the magazine for right now goes on the top. Okay? One last check-in, a different kind of check-in, is a DVD. You're going to first and foremost always double check that the DVD in the case matches the case. If it isn't, you let Ms. Bombino, me, know as soon as possible. Slips of paper, recycle. Now there is an issue with these. There is a barcode on this DVD. Something of note, you're going to scan the barcode, again making sure that the titles all appear. If we look through, there was the Ripley's Believe It or Not, Strange Tales, the periodical, and now the French Revolution. The item that you've checked in is always at the top. This here does not go on the shelf with the DVD in it. Reminder that when we checked it out, we had on the back here a fake case for it. So you're going to remove the DVD, and if you go over to the caddy where it says empty DVDs here, you'll find the DVD case that matches it. Put the DVD in the case, snap shut. The DVD gets placed in order, 944.05. There are little tags at the bottom that give you the call number, and all of them are labeled. So you're going to put the DVD in the fake case here, and then this is ready to put out on the shelf. Okay? Okay. By shelf, I mean there is a book cart, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm just putting it aside. Now you've finished with the machine. To move back from check-in to check-out, because we do more checkouts than check-ins, you're going to press the F8 key and clear the screen. There's no F4 escape here, because if I toggled back, I'd still have my list. I pressed F8 to get to the list for check-in. I'm checking out now, so I want to go to F8. Okay. Now all of these little pieces of paper here, make sure that you keep your desk clean. There's less clutter, and it's a little easier to handle. So once you've checked everything in on the computer, it's time to use the sensitizer. The sensitizing machine is fine for books and magazines, but never for DVDs. So the DVD case, I'll give my photographer here, or my filmer, enough time to back off. On the book cart, bottom shelf, you'll notice that there is a pile of empty DVD cases and VHS that have the VHS in them. That's where it goes, right away. Magazines get run through the machine, and it's important on check-in that you push the button to the check-in or sensitize, and when you're checking in items, this little red light should come on, and you can see that no red light appeared there. So we're going to do it one more time. Most often that red light appears. If it does not, at the bottom shelf here, sorry about the noise, but at the bottom shelf there's a tag that says no light. So anything that doesn't have a light automatically goes there. If that magazine had lit up, you would put the magazine in this bin here that says magazines to be refiled in the blue boxes. So the whole process is it's been checked out and it'll go back in a blue box. But that's only if it lights up. If there is no light, it goes on the bottom shelf. Now books, spine of the book, running through from right to left. You'll notice that the red light came on. So that's perfect. Try another one. Red light came on. One more. And it did. It took a little longer, but it did come on. So I have finished with this machine. I always make sure I put it on checkout, because we always do more checkouts than check-in. And the final stage is to put these on the book cart so that someone can reshelve them. So we have books with numbers on them. This one here is a 031. Non-fiction books are on the top shelf from 0 to 999. So you always make sure it's in exact order. So that goes in there. 398 is after 360, 364. And this one here is a fiction book. Top shelf is non-fiction. Far corner normally is reference, but we ran out of space for some things earlier. This shelf here is for paperbacks, which means that the labels are PB and a letter. So anything that has PB and letters automatically is on this side. And this happens to be an ROS, so it's alphabetically arranged. We now have space to bring these back down. And normally this card has non-fiction, reference, paperbacks, fiction, professional books, which have numbers and the letters PRO above it. That's teacher collection stuff. And then we have our videos, DVDs, and finally our graphic novels. So that's the arrangement of the book cart. And you've done successful check-ins.